Robert the Arm Vapor here with another review for you. And this time it's going to be this little guy right here. This is the SBODY Macro. Oh, let's do the upside down. Macro. This is by Vaporshark. This is touted to be by them the smallest, most compact DNA 40. And it is tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Yes, indeed. And I actually have a nickel pre-built coil in this Addy, vaping it at 500 Fahrenheit, 30 watts. Working quite well. What are some of the specs on this little puppy? Let's see. Let's see. First of all, it comes in a bunch of colors. Black, purple, red, blue, orange, pink, and silver and white. Lots of colors for you to choose from. And it does, on their website, Vaporshark's website, $99.99 for an authentic Evolve DNA 40. All right, so what do we got in here? We got, and it comes with a 120-day warranty. So this has, the widescreen DNA, so you can actually lock in the resistance for your nickel coils. Dimensions 2.96 by 1.37 by 0.87 inches. Okay, so it'll support down to a 0.16 Canthal build, right? And it'll support from a 0.1 and up for your nickel coils. Maximum output 23 amps. DNA 40 watts, of course. Aluminum construction. All right. Reverse polarity, stainless steel 510 connection. It has zip charging. Here's your USB port. Zip charging. What does that mean? You got to love Vaporshark for this. Their zip charging means these things charge very quickly. Up to like 350% quicker getting a charge on this. Of course, make sure you plug this into a 2 amp source. Okay. Let's see what else. Self-adjusting gold-plated pin here. Gold-plated. So the 510 is gold-plated. Gold-plated. Yes. Gold-plated. All right. And it requires a single 18650 battery. Yes, indeed. Yes. You can use your own 18650. Well, you have to use your own 18650. You can charge it inside the unit, or you can just change it out. Look at this. Boom. Right? Did I put it in right? Yes, I did. Okay. How about that? Very stealthy. Very stealthy. Put something dinky on here and disappears in the palm of your hand. Let's put this in perspective. Let's take this off. Here is, the macro. This is the Vaporshark DNA 30. Slightly, this is slightly wider. All right. Identical height, it appears. The only form factor seems to be a little bit different compared to the Vaporshark DNA 30 is this is a little wider. All right, so you get the idea. You get the idea, right? The Vaporshark rDNA, which contains the DNA 30 chipset, right, by Evolve. This is the one where you actually had to unscrew the battery compartment to change the battery. All right, you get pardon me, you get an idea. Here is the Vaporshark. Our DNA, DNA 40. Ooh, we're getting bigger, right? Comparison of form factor. Here is the vaporshark. It just simply says vaporshark on the unit, but this is the DNA 200 by Evolve. Quite a big difference between that puppy, right? This is much taller. Let me just give you a quick little DNA, DNA 40, DNA 200, vaporshark. There's the difference in the form factor between these two, right? Just to give you perspective, right? Let's put a Canthal build on this. Let me lower my wattage. That'll do. New coil up, same coil down, new coil. All right. Works rather well, right? 40-watt mod, Canthal. Let's take something a little bigger. Here's my crown. Of course, I'm going to crank the wattage all the way up to the max 40. I don't want to do an anti-lock. Oh, right. Okay, with the DNA 40s, right? You put something with a stainless steel coil on it, it's going to act wonky on you. It's going to act wonky. No question about it, right? So what you want to do if you put a stainless steel coil, which that's what this crown uses, right, for its pre-built coils, you will want to put your DNA 40, you want to turn off temperature control altogether. All right? So that's what I'm going to do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now it's locked. Hold down both of your plus and minus buttons. Hold the change temp. It's in temp mode. Now bring it up to where it's 600 and go one beyond. Press your failure button and you're good to go. Temperature control is now off. So it has no choice but to run in wattage mode. Unlock it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Right. I want to please stop that. Addy locked up, down, hold. Okay. Now I'm changing the wattage all the way up to 80. No, 40. Pardon me. 40. Bueller. Okay. And the coil that's in here, on here is reading 0.32. Odd. Odd. 0.32. The Evolve DNA is reading that at 0.32. I'm going to put it on a different mod, see what this mod reads this crown at. 0.28. The point I was getting to is the crown coil in here is one of the pre-built 0.25 coils. So we got quite a discrepancy there. Very interesting. Of course, stainless steel will change resistance as it heats up. Now it's down to 0.29, so obviously the mod is kind of cool too as well. Gone back up to 0.34. All right, that's nothing to quibble about. You're running stainless steel on a DNA 40. All right, so you're going to get those fluctuations in the resistance reading because that's what the DNA 40 does. Pretty good vape. Pretty good vape. I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll do this anyways. We're going to put the nickel build back on here. We're going to go into lockout mode. We're going to change the temp back down to 500. Lock it in, unlock it. Right? Bring the I'm going to bring my wattage back down. Oh, it's locked. Wattage is, no, that's locked. Okay. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Bring my wattage back down to 30 watts where I was before with this. Come on. Anytime. There we go. Here we go. We're getting close. Here we go. All right, 30 watts. So the coil's hot enough. It didn't give us any grief as far as up or down, new coil, that kind of thing, because it didn't. Vaping quite the thing there. Yes. Anything else to tell you about this? It's tiny. Do you get that? This is why you want, if you want something, this form factor, this tiny, this is a genuine Evolve DNA 40 SBODY macro by Vaporshark. Yes. Robert the Arm Vapor